Hello, welcome back to the next video of the conversion of the Sentra to an electric car. And this time I want to show you that I removed the gas tank, so there's nothing here anymore. You just leave the hoses there hanging, no problem. And I'm just going to put the lid on it for the noise and the dust, so it's going to be covered. And here are the cables that belong to the pump and the meter. I may use some of these cables to, since this is the meter to the meter of the gas level and the meter of the low level indicator in the dashboard. I may be able to reuse this to still using the gasoline meter for my batteries if I get a few electronic components. I've seen people done that, and I believe I can do that too. So I'll keep these cables here for now. Just make sure you put some tape, or I put some tape on the terminals to avoid a short circuit. But for now, that's it in this side, and we can move to the motor, and I'll show you what I'm working on right now. I'm sorry if there's not too much light, but I have to work at night sometimes or later in the evening, so I don't have daylight to show you. Okay, here's the motor with the adapter plate. I painted the adapter plate so it's looking much better. These metal adapter plates are not very good looking, but they're very strong, and I'm very happy with the final result. The way we did this was very good, so I'm very happy with this plate, even though it's not that pretty looking like some made of aluminum. I'm happy with the results, and well, I was using this to lift it. When I built this plate, or I assisted in the building of this place, I decided to build also the front pulley, and this is part of the old gasoline engine. Actually, I was able to find a hub for this place where they fit together. I had to remove a little bit of the extra thick of the hub to make it fit inside, but I was able to reuse it very nicely, and just with some welding it just fits really good here, and a regular screw. So I have a front pulley now, and in the future I'm going to get another plate here to mount the AC and the power steering. I decided not to do that for the beginning, because those two elements are not really required to test the electric car. Once the electric car is working, I'm going to then get the second plate and use the pulley to then work the AC and the power steering. Okay. Now there are a bunch of things that are very easy to do while you have the transmission and the motor outside the car, and that's what I'm doing right now. I replaced these seals because they were in bad shape. Now that the transmission is out, it's really easy to work. I also bought some transmission oil, since the oil in the transmission is rarely used, it's really changed or flushed. This is a good time to get the transmission oil replaced. Make sure you don't put too much on it until the wheel shafts are back in place, or it start leaking from here. So I'm just going to put one, and the rest I'm going to put it on when the parts are back into the car and the shafts are in place. Make sure that you have something like this to catch all the leaking. You don't want to stain your floor. I want to show you this part. This part is the clutch. Before I put it together with transmission, which I hope to do today or tomorrow, I'm going to show you how the final clutch is installed into the motor. It is really nice. I really like the way this is working. And I already made a test with the transmission the other day, and it was working really good. So I'm going to do a test later today or tomorrow. A piece of advice: make sure that when you test the motor with no load, you don't test with more than 12 volts, because these motors with no load can burn or spin really fast and can get damaged really easily. So 12 volts for testing only. You put more volts now when there's load, but with no load 12 volts is enough. Okay, so once I replace the oil in the transmission, that's going to be it as far as oil that is going to be used in the system. It is nice that these electric cars will not use gasoline, they won't use water, they won't use it won't intake any air. So this is pretty much as far as it goes for oil. I'm going to show you also some of the electric components that I bought for the electric car. This is the controller. It's really heavy. This is Soliton 1. It's supposed to be the best or one of the best controllers in the market. This is what I'm going to use for my conversion. It's supposed to be very good, and it has a bunch of ports here that you have to configure as well. I'll show you this as I go and connect them. Some of the other parts that I already bought. I have my DC to DC converter. This will charge the accessory battery, and this will charge it from the system batteries into the accessory battery. You need to get a fuse also. This is the fuse. It's still wrapped, but pretty much will burn if something creates a short circuit. It's a huge fuse, but it's necessary. I got also my vacuum pump. This is going to be connected to the brakes because you don't have the vacuum anymore created by the motor. So this is going to be the way to create vacuum again and still have power braking. This is another part that is a must. It's an emergency disconnect, and this is basically a plug. When you build your system, you just plug them together, and you make sure to connect a cable from one of these to inside the car, and then you need to be able to pull that wire and disconnect the system in case of an emergency. This is a very important safety measure, safety device, and basically you just disconnect the system in case of an emergency. And finally, I want to show you the throttle. You need now something like this to make the system work. This connects to the controller, and basically this end connects to the pedal, the accelerator pedal. So this is going to dictate the speed and the amount of power that is passed to the motor from the controller. This is also a very good one. Try to get a good one. Apparently this is important. Now, as I was reviewing the pedal in the car, I found out that these Nissan cars do not have a cable anymore from the pedal to the motor. Everything they have is electric or electronic, and it goes into the controller. So it looks like I already have an electric throttle in the car, and I have the feeling that I can use it for my system, since it already has all the bolts and everything I need, and it's the pedal. Looks like I may be able to use it. I will be able to use it, and I may just return this if that is true. I like this better just because it's already made for this car and it's ready to go. But we'll see. I check with a multimeter and see if the resistance and all the conditions are duplicated by the two of them, and this I should be able to use. Okay, let me see. The last thing I want to talk about is another thing you may want to do while the motor is out is move the advanced timing. The position where the brushes are in these motors are supposed to be for 72 volts maximum if you have them ready. But since I plan to go above that, and by the way, 170 volts is the most you can put into these motors safely. So if you plan to go above 72 volts, you need to move for efficiency, you need to move the brushes into the advanced timing position, what they call, and there are holes pre-made for this that you have to move for the advanced timing position. All that is much easier when the motor is out of the car. In the next video I should show you this all together and with the testing with the battery spinning. So see you in the next video. Thank you.